Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Video Games. I'm Sal, and today I'm here to go over two handheld systems I very much enjoy. I love these two, but the main reason we're here, which one of these systems runs PSP games the best, which one do I prefer to play my PSP games on. Just to let you guys know, if you were thinking about getting either of these systems, the pros and the cons of running PSP games on these. Of course, we have the PlayStation Vita. This is the 2000 model, the second version of the PlayStation Vita. I love how orangey it looks. It looks awesome. The PSP games run through Adrenaline. They run great at a resolution of 960 by 544. This is an LCD screen, not like the OLED, the first version of the PS Vita. And then we obviously have my most recent acquired handheld system, the RETROID Pocket 5. This really has become one of my favorite handhelds in the last couple of weeks. I love how this runs the PSP titles. They look amazing on this 5.5 inch AMOLED screen. And this screen runs at 1920 by 1080p. And man, these games look fantastic on here, running at 60 frames per second. We're going to test out some games. I'm going to show you guys how to map out that second analog stick on both systems, because the PSP did not have a second analog stick, but these do. So you can map these out to play like normal games instead of messing around with the face buttons to move the camera. So without further ado, let's get into this video for the PlayStation Vita 2000 versus the RETROID Pocket 5, and which one of these runs PSP games the best. Now, the first thing you guys might be thinking is, I'll just buy a PSP to play these games. And while you can do that, I would not recommend it. Don't get me wrong, I want to get a PSP myself, especially this God of War Ghost of Sparta edition that I used to have back in the day. It looks amazing. I want to have it in the collection and mod it myself. But of course, I would not play the PSP games on this device because, one, you don't have the option to map out a second analog stick. So you won't be able to control the camera with a second analog stick. And of course, these games will run worse on the actual PSP itself than they do on the RETROID Pocket 5. They will run the same on the PS Vita, but just know if you get a PSP to play your PSP games, you won't get the best experience possible. Here we have the PlayStation Vita 2000 with a 5-inch 960 by 544p LCD screen with 220 pixels per inch and 4 to 6 hours of battery life, I would say. So here we have the RETROID Pocket 5. It has a 5.5 inch AMOLED screen with a resolution of 1920 by 1080p with 400 pixels per inch. It's really hard to compete with this screen, honestly. It's one of the best screens I've seen on a device like this. And this will also give you 4 to 6 hours of battery life. So here's a comparison between the two screens. Of course, this is the PlayStation Vita 2000. As you see here, it does have 220 ppi, and it is a bit dim, I'm not gonna lie. And here the RP5 with 400 ppi, you could really see a difference in the brightness of these screens. I just wanted to do a little comparison for you guys. On the PlayStation Vita, the PSP titles run through an application called Adrenaline. Of course, you get this from modding it. I do have a guide on modding the Vita, so make sure to watch that if you want to do that. It runs through Adrenaline, an app that runs these games through emulation. You see all the PSP titles here, from Killzone to God of War, GTA, everything runs off of here like an actual PSP menu, and it looks awesome. And here we have the RP5. We are running these through the emulator PPSSPP through Emulation Station. And I love how this looks. Now this is how you play your PSP games with that analog stick. You want to click on the PS button. We'll open up this menu, go to Settings. Then right there where it says right stick, you want to go on there and assign your face buttons to your analog stick. That way you can use your analog stick as the face buttons which were used on the PSP to aim your weapons or just to aim in general, your camera on the PSP. And as you see here, everything's working great. Now the RETROID Pocket 5, you want to click on L2 there to open up the PSPP menu. Go to Settings, Controls, Control Mapping, and here is where you will assign your analog stick as your face button. So you want to go to your face buttons, X, square, and triangle there, and assign it as it goes. So right would be circle, left square, down X, and up triangle. The only thing here is when you do map this out, you won't be able to click on your actual face buttons to go into menus or stuff like that. I am clicking on what would be X there and nothing's happening. So you do have to press down the analog stick to press X. That's just something you should know in advance. Everything's working great. I can move. So the first game I want to go into today is Call of Duty Roads to Victory, a 2007 World War II shooter. This game was developed by Amaze Entertainment and published by Activision. And Call of Duty Roads to Victory is really one of the only first-person shooters for the PSP. And here it is running on the PS Vita. And the thing I do notice with the 2000 model of the PS Vita is the colors don't pop as much as they do on the 1000 model. And when we get to the RP5, you guys will definitely notice a difference in how these games pop more on that screen, of course, with it being an AMOLED screen. This is running in 540p, which is the max resolution of the screen. Here is the RETROID Pocket 5. And it's already really looking much better than the PS Vita did running this game. And at the top there, you could see how many frames per second we're getting. I think we're even getting a better frames per second on the RETROID Pocket 5 than we did on the PS Vita. Everything is running so smooth here. The first-person shooter mechanics, being able to use the analog stick on both devices really changes the game, makes it much more playable. It looks amazing running this in 1080p. It's a game changer, guys. Burnout Legends, a racing game developed by Criterion Games and published by Electronic Arts. I had to try out a racing game. We already got an FPS, now we got a racing game in here. This game does feature a lot of the same tracks from the trilogy of games on PS2. This game was released in 2005. This is one of my favorite games to try out whenever I'm doing videos here for the channel. Burnout Legends is a really fun game, but I'm gonna be honest here, I was not enjoying playing this one as much on the PS Vita as I did on the RETROID Pocket 5. The RETROID Pocket 5 just runs everything so much better. And here we have it on the RETROID Pocket 5, Burnout Legends. The colors are popping, everything looks better. It's running in 1080p. It looks like 30 frames per second. It's so much more clear here. It's much better to play RETROID Pocket 5. If you already have a RETROID Pocket 5 and you have a PlayStation Vita, for sure play these games on your RETROID Pocket 5. Killzone Liberation, running on the PS Vita. The only Killzone game to come out on the PSP. There was no other handheld Killzone games. A 2006 shooter from an isometric perspective. It was developed by Guerrilla Games and published by Sony for the PSP. It is a spin-off that takes place 2 months after the original game. Very brown, darker on the Vita. Probably would look better on the OLED, but these games, that is how they looked on the PSP itself. Killzone Liberation on the RP5, and this looks freaking insane. The difference is like night and day. This just goes to show that it really does enhance the experience playing these through the emulator PPSSPP. It enhances the graphics of the game. It makes everything look newer and really makes it much more playable with the addition of being able to play with the other analog stick. I really can't rave enough about how these games look on the RP5. Resistance Retribution, it's a 2009 third-person shooter developed by Ben Studio. Yes, the people that made Days Gone, Uncharted Golden Abyss, and Siphon Filter. It was a spin-off for the Resistance series set between Resistance Fall of Man and Resistance 2. An emulated version of this game was released in 2024 for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, so you are able to play this game on newer hardware. But here it is running on the PlayStation Vita, and of course, guys, I'm sorry I keep saying this, but it just looks brown. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look as bad as the other games, but obviously it looks like a PSP game, feels like a PSP game. And now we have it here for the RETROID Pocket 5, Resistance Retribution, one of my favorite PSP titles. Look at this. It's just crazy to me that a game emulated now on PPSSPP could look this good. It basically just changes the entire game and how it looks. It makes it much more playable. This looks amazing. Little glitchy here and there sometimes because it is an emulated game. And if you guys have not played any of the Resistance games, make sure to try them out. They're some of my favorite first-person shooters. I love them even more than Killzone, and I do love Killzone. But these games are just amazing when it comes to the storytelling and everything in them. It's just amazing games. Make sure you try out Resistance Retribution as well. God of War Chains of Olympus is a 2008 action-adventure game developed by Ready at Dawn and published by Sony. This was the fourth installment in the God of War series. This was also a prequel to the original God of War. It is loosely based on Greek mythology and set in ancient Greece. And man, God of War, especially these PSP titles, man, they're some of the best games ever made. I love the original run of the 5 titles of God of War with God of War 1 through 3, Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta. I love these games so damn much. And here it is on PlayStation Vita. Even with it running in 540p, it looks amazing. And here it is, God of War Chains of Olympus, fully transformed. This is basically the one you can play on the Origins collection for PS3. It looks that good. And I can't tell you how much fun it was to replay this game here on the RETROID Pocket 5. I really love these games. These games really take me back to my childhood growing up on the PlayStation 2 playing these and on the PSP. They were amazing, man. There is a reason why these are considered the best titles on the PSP, and they really hold up. They're so damn good. And can I be honest here for a second? Please bring back this Kratos. I'm so tired of the new Kratos. These games are way better. I love the new God of War games, don't get me wrong, but I really miss this style of gameplay when it comes to God of War, and we need that back. Please, Sony. So here's an extra game in God of War Ghost of Sparta. This one's just for fun, guys. I love this game so much. God of War Ghost of Sparta is a 2010 action-adventure game developed by Ready at Dawn and published by Sony. It was first released for the PSP on November 2nd, 2010. The game is the 6th installment in the God of War series and the 4th chronologically. And like I said before, this God of War, it's an exceptional game. I love this game so much. This is my favorite PSP title. God of War Ghost of Sparta is the best looking PSP title. And with the RETROID Pocket 5, it looks fantastic. It's running at 60 frames per second at 1080p. It's like night and day between how it looks here and how it looks on the PlayStation Vita. There's nothing left to be said about the RETROID Pocket 5. It can handle so many games, and PSP is really the crown jewel when it comes to what the RETROID Pocket 5 can handle. And that is really the main handheld I am playing on the RETROID Pocket 5. So the RETROID Pocket 5 and the PlayStation Vita 2000 model are two of the best handhelds you can get out there. And definitely the best way to play PSP games is on both of these devices. The PlayStation Vita, you can play all the games through Adrenaline and they run as they would on an actual PSP. But the RETROID Pocket 5 just really stands out for how it improves these games, how it enhances the resolution, obviously with the 1080p display, and how these games actually running at 60 frames per second. They improve graphically and in the performance, and they also just stand out for how they look on this amazing 5.5-inch AMOLED screen. They really just pop, you know. They look outstanding, they look fantastic, and they play fantastic. And I have really been enjoying playing my PSP games on here, like God of War Ghost of Sparta, Chains of Olympus, all the games I showed you guys. And of course, Toy Story 3, I finally finished the PSP version. I love that game. It runs amazing on here. And really, in case you guys didn't notice, the RETROID Pocket 5 is the best way to play your PSP titles. The PlayStation Vita, while I love it, it really doesn't stand a chance against the RETROID Pocket 5. And yeah, guys, so the RP5 is the clear winner here. My favorite handheld to play PSP games on. I love the PS Vita, of course, but I love the RETROID Pocket 5 even more. So let me know what you guys thought of this video. Let me know what's your favorite way to play your PSP titles. Is it PC? Is it the RP5, the PS Vita, the actual PSP? Let me know in the comments down below, and like, subscribe, and everything if you enjoyed this video. And as always, guys, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.